2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
The following program is paid for by Learfield Bobcat Sports Properties.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
Hello, 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 and welcome live to Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined by head coach Brent Vigen, and first of all, everybody can hear us okay? Sounding good out at B-Dubs? All right, that's what we like to see, lots of thumbs up around here. All right, Coach, how we doing? How we feeling? Welcome to another Wednesday.
Yeah, it's good to be in the middle of another game week. Obviously the result last week wasn't what we wanted, and what you want is you want to get to that next Saturday as fast as you can to just get on the right side of that score. And we've had a good week of practice. I think the guys bounced back, real well starting on Monday, and the weather's been better this week, and we've got a couple good days of practice behind us, and really looking forward to being back home again. We've been on the road for a couple weeks, and really excited to be back in front of our home crowd.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you talked about this at the start of the year in fall camp all year long, and really all the years you've been here is you can't ride the wave from game to game, from play to play, from week to week, and this is another perfect example of trying to come right back out and go to work this week.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you want to make sure that win or lose, you learn from the previous game, and there was plenty to learn from. I think we did some really good things, and there was plenty of things that we made mistakes and they magnified them, and ultimately we came up short. So I think our guys really, coaches first, I guess, then the players really took that to heart as far as, okay, what could we have done better? Okay, you can't change that result, but what you can do everything you can to fix it moving forward. And nothing glaring necessarily, but a few little things in that game could go a long ways. And good resolve though by the guys. I think they understand that everything that we're after is still out in front of us, and that all starts with a clear focus on NAU.
Right, so it's a three-way tie right now atop the Big Sky at 4-1. So if you win out, you are guaranteed at least a share of the Big Sky Championship. So the control there is totally in your guys' hands as we move forward here against NAU. All right, our guests today, it's going to be Blake Stillwell and Miles Jackson. So we'll be talking to a couple of defensive guys today, so that'll be fun. And we also want to make sure we shout out volleyball this week. They got the win against Montana over at the Fieldhouse, so big-time win for them. they've now taken a one-game lead in the all-time series. That's how close it has been. And Kira Thompson has tied the all-time kills record at Montana State, a record that stood since the early 80s. So a long-time record that she has tied and is 1 kill away from breaking.
Oh, big win for them. Obviously, we were out in Lewiston, Idaho that night, but and excited to see them get that trophy back, and really excited for Matt and the ladies.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, let's dive a little bit deeper into this ball game for Montana State, the loss at Idaho. First of all, it was as big of a crowd and as loud a crowd as we expected. Another great contingent of Bobcat fans there. They stuck them in the corner over by the end zone, but we could see them clearly. One of the topics of conversation after week 2 was handling crowd noise and that sort of thing. How did you guys feel you adjusted in handling a crowd noise in an atmosphere like that on the road?
Yeah, I thought that really didn't play a factor in anything that we did. The issues that we had in Brookings that then caused some false starts, things of that nature, some communication issues. We didn't have any of those problems. I think you're in a hostile environment. You should feed off that, and I think ultimately our guys really enjoy those opportunities, and I think it was a step forward as far as that goes.
Let's talk about some personnel here. You did announce this week that Derek Snell is going to be out for kind of the foreseeable future here. Obviously, a disappointing loss for Derek Snell and for the team and for everybody as he kind of moves forward. So where is he kind of at, and how are you guys going to kind of fill in around him? Because nobody can fill in on what exactly he does. He's a unicorn, but how are you guys filling in around him?
Well, I think you look at your personnel and say, okay, whatever this is the amount of things Derek did. Do we have guys that can do a portion of that? We don't have anybody that can do all the things that Derek did, so we shouldn't ask anybody to fill all those roles. And I think with Ryan Larkin, I think he stepped in these last couple weeks and done a good job. And again, trying to allow him to do things he does well. And then we didn't play Hunter Providence. I think there's a chance that he'll find the field here as season ends. A true freshman tight end. And certainly Trayton Pickering has continued to play really well, and we don't want to stress him too much, but Trayton needs to keep up his level of play, and we need to find other guys, other playmakers, whether it's the receiver group or the running back group, that maybe replace some of the things that we're getting out of Derek.
Yeah, you mentioned Trayton Pickering. What a game he had. 4 catches in this contest, seemingly all big catches. He had that one big catch and run down the middle of the field, made a couple of catches on that drive that set up a potential game-tying field goal at the end of the game. But it really just seems like right now his hands have some stick 'em. I mean, he's really running some good routes right now.
Yeah, good routes. He's catching everything that's thrown to him. He's such a big target. I think Tommy really trusts that if he puts the ball in his vicinity, he's going to come down with it. So, we talked a lot about his progress that he'd made in the preseason, and I think it's showing up on Saturdays.
Yeah, no doubt. We got to see that at that Weber State game, too, with a couple of touchdowns in that victory earlier this year. Well, let's stay in the passing game because Tommy Mellott threw the ball a lot in this ball game, and he seemed very, very accurate. Unfortunately, really one of his best balls was the drop potential touchdown near the end of that first half up to Taco Dollar, who was returning from injury. But overall, it felt like Tommy made kind of more throws in terms of just different throws, right? It wasn't just all one fade or one this or one that. He made a variety of throws in this game. Did you see that from him?
Yeah, and unfortunately, 20 of our 47 snaps were in the 2-minute drill. I think 10 before the half and 10 at the end of the game. I mean, that's not the type of percentage we want to live in, but because of the nature of how those snaps played out, we did throw the ball by percentage more than usual. And I thought in both those sequences he really looked in rhythm. And then, as the second half began, we were able to take advantage of some things in the play action. You mentioned the pass to Trayton probably in particular. And then, we go down and we need to drive the field and score. And we did that primarily through the air to move that ball down into the red zone. Obviously, we didn't finish it off. But, Tommy's continued to come along as a passer, and I think that game was evident of that.
Yeah, no doubt, and that was something that you guys were talking about back in fall camp and at the very start of the year. One of the big parts of this game was the second drive by Idaho. It was the 20-play drive. It lasted about 11 minutes, and they really didn't even have that many big plays. There was 2 plays in that drive that were 10 or more yards, and the longest play was 16 yards. But it seemed right from the start that their whole goal was try to keep the ball away from you guys because, they were snapping the football with 2 and 3 seconds left on the play clock. When you look back at that drive, what were some of the big key situations? I know there was the false start, but it wasn't like one big play in that long drive.
No, and it was a drive that only yielded 3 points at the end of it, but I think the damage of the 20 plays and our defense being out there was troubling. as the game went on. The false start, the 4th and 2, I think it was on their side of the field when they were just trying to draw us off, and I think we literally maybe moved a frame before they did. I mean, you can hardly slow it down enough to see. It looked like everybody left at the same time, but we got to be disciplined in that situation. Continuing on down the field, I don't know. It was they were trying to get 2-3 yards. That's what we were yielding. I think we really did a good job really containing Woods. I think that was a big story in that game. Now, he's getting 2 and 3 yards, and we're making them go the long, hard way. But then, unfortunately, on third down, whether it was McCoy making some throws or then, implementing some quarterback run, they were able to stay on the field. And I know we got the trick play and that took that ball all the way back, and they make a 50-plus yard field goal. So weird situation, and the first quarter's done, and we hadn't hardly been on the field, and they'd been on the field that whole bunch, and it was 3-0. So the scoreboard didn't maybe reflect just the wear and tear that first quarter had kind of taken on our defense. Yeah, and then is kind of not being able to get on the field, is that what you attribute not really getting that running game going on those first couple of drives? I mean, it wasn't like there were a lot of plays. It was 3 drives and 9 plays on those first couple. But was there anything in particular you would attribute to not really getting things going offensively early? Well, I think each particular possession, there was a play that you're like, we should be able to do this. I'll put it simply that much. There was a third down our first drive where we get 8 and a handoff to Julius. We should have gotten 15. And, those are the plays that you gnash your teeth about, because before that we just missed a deep ball to Ty McCullough. I mean, if you get that, it's a 50-50 situation, so we don't get it, and we come back and we run on third down, and we should have got it. We didn't get it, and, how does that change the complexion of the game? I don't know, but it certainly would have been nice to stay on the field. I think, and there was other sequences where you like to see the ball just get handed off as opposed to the quarterbacks keeping it a couple times. Anyways, we sort of weathered the storm offensively, and we ultimately got things going enough to then, score on 3 consecutive drives in the second half, but that ebb and flow of just the plays, the accumulation of plays, and the combination of our defense not getting off the field and giving our offense more opportunities is just something that you could feel was not going to play in our favor as the game went on. Yeah, you mentioned that 8-yard run that you felt like should have gone for 15. What was it? Was it a vision or was it a missed block? No, it wasn't. It was an identification thing up front. They were in a defense that our run blocking matched up well. We got to the second level late. There wasn't anything Julius did. He got 8, and that's probably what was there, but there should have been more. More there. Well, and Julius certainly did get going in this game. I mean, toward the end of that contest, he had a couple of big runs, particularly what could have been, or what was the go-ahead drive midway through that fourth quarter. I mean, he started that drive with an 11-yard run and then like a 17-yard run and then closed it with a 24-yard touchdown run. Eventually, we did see Julius really take off on that drive late. Yeah, and it's just too bad it was in the fourth quarter. If those runs start popping up even later in the second quarter into the third quarter, I think we're having a different conversation today. But it took that long, and we scored pretty quickly. I think those 2 first drives of the second half too, and didn't maybe involve the running game a whole lot. But ultimately for us to do the things we want to do in the fourth quarter, that running game at some point through the first 3 quarters has to take its toll, and it didn't. That's the facts of the matter, and on the flip side, I don't know that their running game took its toll on our defense, but just the pure amount of plays we were out there certainly did, and the fourth quarter didn't play to our advantage like we want it to. When our strength and conditioning, that side of things can take over, our physical nature can take over. It just it wasn't allowed to because of the way the first 3 quarters went. Right. Well, and of course, you're missing a couple, missing a little bit on that defensive side. Obviously, Daniel Lekepa is down here for a little bit. Drew Polidor went and got that big old mitt on his wrist. What was that cast even made of? What was that thing? No idea. I know he already had a cast of some nature on, and I think they just then covered up, his fingers and yeah, he's had more issues with his hand than anybody I've ever seen. Yeah, it looked like he was getting ready for like American Gladiators or something. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, but we got plenty more to get to continue to break down this Idaho game. And, of course, in a little bit, we'll talk with Blake Stillwell and Miles Jackson. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit one, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
It's time for a wellness tip from SCL Health, now Intermountain Health, an official health partner of the Bobcats. Do you ever feel winded after attending a Bobcats game? Here's something you might not know. Of course you do. You're a true blue and gold Bobcat fan. You sing the fight song at the top of your lungs. Stand up and cheer. Cheer long and loud for dear Montana State. That being said, keep those lungs healthy. The Bobcats need your energy. Learn more at intermountainhealth.org.
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this, and then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy, I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Montana811.org.
What's in a name? For some, the meaning runs deeper than the word we see in front of us. There's a history to it. We are Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana, and the biggest part of our name will always be the smallest, of, because it's the of that connects us, which means we are of our communities, of a promise passed down for a healthier tomorrow. Through it all.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Nicely done, Beef. When football fans everywhere cheer for their team, they're cheering for you too, because your savory snacks fuel the gridiron battle. With your tasty sliders, hearty chilies, and drool-worthy steaks, every option is an MVP. Most valuable protein. So gather around the TV and get cooking at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
Bobcat fans, Lithia Dodge of Billings, Montana's #1 new car dealer and proud partner of Montana State Bobcats, has the new truck you've been looking for, in stock now and ready for immediate delivery. Come test drive a new 2023 Ram 1500 during Power Days at Lithia Dodge in Billings. See why we're Montana's #1 new car dealer. Based on 2020 and 2021 and 2022 new vehicle registration data.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. Of course, it's almost Catterday, Bobcats, so you can go suit up in the blue and gold with the MSU Bookstore, the only not-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. Shop with us on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at msubookstore.org. I'm Keaton Gillogly along with head coach Brent Vigen. We're getting set for NAU this coming week, talking about Idaho on what's been the Halloween weekend. And did you get a lot of trick-or-treaters around the house in the neighborhood yesterday?
We had zero.
Zero?
Yeah, Molly was almost appalled. We live out, out a ways, and it's not a trick-or-treating neighborhood. Our kids, Luke's still 7th grade, so he went out to Middle Creek and trick-or-treated there. We had zero.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, Molly. That's tough. Well, I guess you got a lot of candy in the stash now.
Yeah.
We only had one in our neighborhood, and I was struck, you got to have a good receptacle for your candy. This young girl had just that, kind of plastic pumpkin thing, You can't fit that much candy in there. You need the pillowcase. That's the key. The pillowcase is the key.
That's what Luke had,
yeah. Good. He's a smart man about it. All right, well, let's talk some football here. And let's get into, the kick at the end of the game. Let's talk a little Brendan Hall. Obviously, he's done a lot of really good things. And I think one of the things that stood out, at least in the punt game, was that 60-yard punt he had in the middle of this game. So he is still contributing in a big way. It seems like his punt game, his kickoff game have been really outstanding so far.
Yeah, I think when you look at Brendan, you gotta separate the three things he's doing. It is three individual skills. He has punted punted better and better as the season went along, changing the field a couple times in that game. His ability to put the ball inside the 10, I think, has been phenomenal at this point. Our net punt is climbing in the national rankings, so he's been really good there. In the kickoff game, he's by and large eliminated the return game. The number of touchbacks have been really off the charts. However, on the place kicking game where there's points to be had, we haven't gotten them all. And we've had 3 games where we've missed 2. Our last 3 kicking opportunities for field goals have been end of the half or end of the game, and we've missed them all. And that's the facts of the matter. So we gotta find a way to get those points on the board. And we're working through that this week. I've said that all week, and we'll have a plan come Saturday. And Casey Kotzman is very capable, and he could very well be part of that plan.
What have you seen from Brendan Hall in practice? Because for fans, all we see is in game. So, what have you seen from him in practice when he's place kicking?
He's been really good. Even as we've gone through this week, he's been really good. And for whatever reason, it's not translating to those opportunities. And we go live against our defense. It's not just we're just kicking out on air out there. I mean, we go live against our defense on Wednesdays. We go live against the scout team on Tuesdays. Opportunities both days to see a rush, but you're not feeling all the other factors that come into play when you're out there on a Saturday, end of half, end of the game, those type of situations. So, we gotta figure out how to keep him moving forward because he's a valuable member of this team. There's no doubt about that. If separating the 2 from the 1 is a way to do that, that's certainly being considered.
Well, let's talk about Casey Kotzman a little bit, not in the sense of what we're going to see from him this week, but just how he's been doing this year. He's a Butte native, and we did see him knock through a couple of field goals in week 3. How has he been in practice? How has he improved? What's his journey been like this year?
Yeah, Casey's really improved from last year. He was a guy that traveled every week last week, every game, didn't get an opportunity. We were able to redshirt him, but was, right there behind Blake and Bryce, kicking off at times as a scout team kickoff guy, certainly getting opportunities, place kicking, and then has continued to learn to punt because he didn't punt in high school just so we can have him as a backup. But all that being said, I think he's continued to get better. He's really worked hard to if it's field goal accuracy, if it's distance on his kickoffs, if it's even just continuing to get better as a punter, he's worked extremely hard. And in particular, the place kicking piece, I think that's been the primary focus as we've gone through both the spring and fall camp, and he's been very consistent. He doesn't have the range that Brendan might have, but Brendan's got range that a lot of people don't have. So, and I'm not so concerned about us being able to make the kicks 50 plus. It's we got to make the kicks underneath 40, and that's where we've missed too many of those opportunities, and we got to be able to cash in on those. Yeah,
no doubt. Whatever happens, both those guys are going to be big parts of the roster this year and beyond. Also looked like Caden Dowler was on the sideline this week, and he's working back from his knee injury.
Yeah, he made the trip. I'm sure, with Taco's first appearance back on the field, he wanted to be there to support his brother. He had his surgery, going back a ways now, and everything went as it's supposed to, and, we'll look for his return next fall.
All right. Don't want those injured guys to think we forgot about that.
No, absolutely.
And, for Danny, too, Danny Yu, as he's working back from that elbow injury, how's he been in coaching mode, and just how has he tried to make an impact even if he can't get between the white lines?
Good, yeah. Danny's one of our captains, and he needs to continue to have that presence. Was out there doing some individual drills today. I mean, he's restricted, certainly, but he's doing everything he can to – the biggest thing you don't want to lose with an upper body injury like that is your conditioning. So he's been out there running with a brace on his elbow, but just staying in condition and certainly keeping his mind, in the game plan. Certainly helping out those younger linebackers in particular.
Yeah, I'm sure that's weird for him running with the arm in a sling and trying not to go in a circle accidentally with
it.
Right. So those were a couple of the guys that were banged up. The last play we need to talk about in this Idaho game was, of course, their game-winning touchdown. That was a situation where you guys had gone up about 8 minutes to go in this game. They made a couple of plays on that drive. Giovanni McCoy is National Freshman of the Year last year. There was a reason why. He's an outstanding quarterback. That last pass to Hayden Hatton for the game-winning touchdown, that was a heck of a throw. What did you see from that throw, that catch, that coverage, and just that moment?
Well, they were in a 1st and 25 at the 27, and you really felt like, okay, that's going to be a difficult task for them.
And they needed a touchdown.
Right, and they needed a touchdown. So we, knew that they're probably going to go about it, for 4 downs, and we had to hold up. We gave up a little bit too much on the first play, I think, on a swing pass, and we knocked a screen down on second down. So they're in a 3rd and long, 11 or something like that at the 13. And I think they were content with throwing another swing pass to the field, but they got the matchup they liked with Hatton on John, and we were playing Ryland over to that side, but maybe John was a little too aggressive. Whatever, John covered him really well on that play. It was a perfect throw, and I know Ryland got there. If it's a hair late, if whatever you want to say, I mean he was inches away from getting his hands on that ball, and in times like that. You can do everything you can sometimes, and they just make a better play, and that's kind of how I ended up looking at that. In the moment you're just disappointed because we got that pass interference, and it really looked like it was going to be challenging for them to get 6 on the board, and ultimately they made the play that did, and that's all we could do. We could just move forward from there. So. It was. I think our guys went after it, and that was just in general our effort the whole game. We would have a lot more issues if this was a deal where our guys weren't playing hard and just fighting and scratching and clawing for everything. But we have a team that's doing that. We certainly have some things to correct, but I still very confident in this team's ability to continue to move forward.
Hey, 2 top 10 road losses by a combined 7 points so far this year. So things are all right here. It's not like you guys are just tripping over your toes on a couple of these road games.
Yeah, no, we expect to win every game we play in, and each one of those 2 games, I think we look at things that we could have done better than as opposed to saying, well, they just flat beat us, and I think you'd much rather be on that side of it where, we're capable, but now we got to figure out a way to, to be as consistent as possible each week. We have 2 back-to-back home games right now, and like I said at the beginning, just getting back out there on Saturday is what we're looking for. Another opportunity to show we're about, and take on a good opponent that's beat some teams through the course of this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a pesky NAU team on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Then it's Eastern Washington at 1 o'clock, and that wraps up the regular season home schedule before the Brawl of the Wild after that, but hopefully a few more home games in December. But that's something for other people to talk about and not for you to worry about. All right, we're going to talk with Blake Stillwell and Miles Jackson here coming up. Coach, appreciate the insight, and we'll talk about NAU in a little bit. But first, we're taking a break. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Did you know that Southwest Montana has one of the highest per capita hot tub usage rates in the world? See what your friends and neighbors already know. How great it feels to soak under the big sky. Mountain Hot Tub has helped more friends and families relax in hot water than anyone in Montana. New hot tubs starting at less than $5,000. When you're ready to relieve stress and save money at the same time, come see us at the corner of Huffine and Gooch Hill. Mountain Hot Tub since 1979.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in Southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves Southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins-Hallen believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins-Hallen, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years, it's going to explode, obliterating the Earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect access, protect the hunt.
All right, here we go. We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. A couple of notes here. Our basketball version of Cat Chat starts on January 2nd on a Tuesday, so all of those are Tuesday nights over at Montana's Ribbon Chop House. So that starts on January 2nd. And also, make sure you show up to our final show. Every player who has been on the show this year has signed a couple of Montana State helmets, and we will be raffling these off on the last show leading in the Montana game. So make sure you're here for that, because these are some cool keepsakes. All right, we are joined now by cornerback, nickelback, and Miles Jackson. Miles, how we doing? How we feeling?
Good. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Good. I'll have you move that mic up just a little bit right in front of your mouth. Perfect. Yeah, good. Feeling good, and not too banged up after playing all those plays on defense this week.
Yeah, body's feeling good.
All right, good. That's what we like to hear. Let's get into this game a little bit. So you're playing some nickelback right now with Lavelle out, correct?
Yep.
How's that been going? Kind of taking over that position.
It's been an adjustment, but I feel like since the Sac State game, going into Idaho week, I've progressed pretty well, and I feel like this week I've been picking it up pretty well too, so it's getting better every week.
Yeah, what were some of the things that you had to pick up? What were some of the most difficult things to understand and learn?
For sure, the run fits.
Yeah,
run fits and trying to make sure I'm in the right gap when the D linemen trying to figure out their gaps, and it's just all working. The defense working together is the biggest part for me.
Yeah, is it kind of fun though, just getting to know the entire defense while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the things you've had to learn about the other parts of the defense? Because when you're a cornerback, you're kind of just like, hey, this is my guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were some of the things you've been learning about in the rest of that defense that you've had to really key in on?
When the D line is slanting in or slanting out, I have to know where my gap is fitting, or when we have tight ends pulling across the field, I have to know where to fit it. Stuff like that.
Yeah, so just kind of tracking a lot more stuff.
Yeah, the coverage part is still is the part that was pretty easy for me, but trying to pick up the run fits is something I had to learn and getting progression in.
Yeah, how's the physicality of that? You know, when somebody's running at you on the ground and you're not kind of tracking down a wide receiver or something like that.
I feel like that's the part I like about nickel, being able to get in the box and being able to actually come down and make tackles instead of having to stay on top of everything.
Yeah. So that part's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's some big running backs. That Anthony Woods kid, he's no joke over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how's Lavelle been and just kind of helping you out? I mean, obviously he's been absolutely tremendous this year, and it's unfortunate he's been banged up. But how's he helped you out?
His presence, just being at the games and being able to just support me from being a sideline coach, just for me has been pretty helpful. And also Kendrick Bailey, he's helped me on the sidelines and making sure I'm fitting in the right gaps and seeing the stuff that I may be having trouble seeing and helping me make the adjustments.
Yeah. What was it like watching Lavelle, too, getting out there? I mean, you were on the field with Lavelle a lot, but we've talked to him, a sixth-year guy, getting his opportunity as the starter. What were you seeing from Lavelle before he went down?
Oh, Lavelle is making a lot of great plays this season. I've seen him. I'm happy for him making plays, and it's unfortunate that he's hurt, but we just got to keep making plays. Overall defense, step up when our time comes. And I'm glad I was able to make the adjustment from corner to nickel. And hopefully I'm glad the team was able to trust me in this position.
Yeah, I think so. So far it's been good. It's been fun to watch. And, this Idaho game, there was one play I wanted to ask you about. You might know which play I'm talking about, but it was on the touchdown pass that they had to Terez Traynor, kind of over the middle, that shorter pass. You were coming around the edge. You were so close That would have been a sack. I mean, how close were you to McCoy as he was delivering that football?
I think I had my arms wrapped around him while he was throwing it, so I think it was pretty close.
Yeah, and that's just it feels like that's just one of those plays where, it's a game of inches. It sounds cliche, but that was a moment of inches for sure.
It really is.
Yeah. And how were you feeling just in terms of the conditioning and just playing as many snaps as you had to in this game against Idaho?
I feel like when you're in the heat of the moment, plays you just keep going and keep fighting, and it shows who has that dog in them and who really has the spirit to just keep going. And I feel like once you have that, you just stop thinking about as many plays as you're taking. You kind of just worried about winning the game.
Yeah. Was there anybody who was kind of really vocal on the sideline saying, hey, we got to stay in, kind of got to keep doing this, making sure that dog's barking?
I would say probably Nolan Askelson and Rylan Ort for sure.
Yeah.
They've been good leaders for us this year, especially on the defense. We've had Danny out, so they've really stepped up and made sure we're vocal. They've been vocal leaders and making sure everybody's fitting in their right spots and stepping up.
Yeah, Nolan played his tail off. He played every snap in this game, and Rylan Ort went over 100 career tackles in this game as well. So nice milestone for Rylan Ort. Okay, I also want to ask you, Miles, a little bit. So, you're learning a new position. That's a pretty big mental task. But you've also got a pretty demanding major. Is that right?
Yeah.
What are you majoring in?
Constructional engineering and technology.
Okay, so what made you go into that?
I grew up in the STEM field with my dad. He runs a Leg Robotics nonprofit program in Portland, Oregon. So I kind of grew up in the field, and I liked art. So art and construction, building pretty much means construction to me. So
right, interesting. So you like the mix of art and math?
Yes.
Okay, and so and you said what was your dad running?
A Leg Robotics nonprofit program.
Okay, and what does that do?
They just reach out to underprivileged kids in the Portland area and make sure they get exposure to different colleges and just learning how to build certain things and different technology systems that they might not have had the chance to get their hands on.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so your dad inspired you to kind of go into that. And so if you're a little arty, like are you kind of art-ish? Like what do? You like to draw or anything? Or you just like the creativity of construction?
I'd say I love drawing and stuff and painting and all types of other art. I really like all types of art. So
yeah. So do you do anything? Like you got some paintings at the house, or you got anything like that, or just a little too busy right now?
I have some paintings and some drawings that I've done, but recently I've just been focused on football in school.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to draw or paint?
Probably people.
Okay. Like portraits of people?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to see like an oil canvas of somebody very debonair, some of your teammates they can put up, something like that?
If they wanted me to, I probably could.
Yeah, I'll take that. We can get some guys in some bow ties and have that really fancy big one right when you walk in.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little more about the creativity of that construction. Like, what are some of the things that you can do with that? What would you want to build? Like, what are your hopes and dreams with the constructional engineering?
I plan on getting into project management and just getting in that construction field of just keep advancing my career. I've already done some internships with some construction companies out here over the past few summers, so I'm making some advancements, and I'm glad to keep pushing through it.
Yeah, what kind of stuff were they building? What kind of stuff were you guys working on?
A lot of residential, commercial warehousing, stuff like that.
Yeah, we definitely need a lot of residential around here. That's for sure. And what's that course load like? I mean, that's got to be a lot to jump from where the run fit is to then go do the math out and make sure this building doesn't fall over.
I would say it's 2 full-time schedules, so it's a lot of planning and a lot of scheduling, and just making sure I get stuff done early.
Yeah. What's your tip to anybody on time management? Are you a list guy, or like what's your tip on that?
Yeah, I'm a big list guy. So
okay.
Make a list and keep knocking stuff off the list.
All right. Well, next up on the list this weekend is Northern Arizona. Exciting opportunity against this team that has won some impressive games already. They've got some great weapons, particularly in the wide receiver room. Tell us a little bit about NAU and what are some of the things you guys need to do to be successful this weekend.
They played us pretty tough last season, so we're not taking them lightly. We want to make sure we stop the run, stop the pass, just like usual weeks, but we just got to make sure we lock in, especially coming off of a loss. So,
all right, looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out in front of that home crowd too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to be back at the home in front of the Bobcat fans. So.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to see you fill up these run fits this weekend, paint your teammates on oil canvas, and then go build an apartment building.
Yep, that's the plan.
All right, I love it. Miles Jackson, appreciate the time and the insight today. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to talk with Blake Stillwell. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
XL Country, 100.7. KXLV Churchill, Bozeman, Belgrade. Also in Livingston on translator K254AL.
For every adventure and every mishap, Bozeman Health provides expert, personalized care to each person, going well beyond traditional health care. We're your partner in health and well-being, working together for your day-to-day and the decades to come. With care sites in Belgrade, Big Sky, and Bozeman, and with the only hospitals in the Gallatin Valley, Bozeman Health keeps your care close to home. Find a Bozeman Health provider today at bozemanhealth.org. At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our guests and service are our top priorities. We've been serving Rocky Mountain communities signature steaks, delicious seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs for over 20 years. Whether you're celebrating an important milestone, want to watch a big game, or just grab lunch with friends, we're your local spot that feels like home. We have locations in Bozeman, Billings, Butte, and Livingston, so you can enjoy Rib and Chop House across Montana. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you soon. At Levitt Group Insurance, we believe that hard work, dedication, and teamwork are the keys to success. Levitt Group Insurance is proud to present the weekly Bobcat Impact Player of the Game. Each week, a player will be selected because they've proven that they have what it takes to be a game changer. Levitt Group Insurance will always work hard and change your insurance program to fit your needs to be a game changer for your business. To see how we can help you with your business, employee benefits, home and auto insurance, contact a Levitt Group Insurance office near you. Levitt Group Insurance, leaving nothing you value to chance.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, ooh, pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. Universal Athletic has been a proud sponsor of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Go Cats. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined now by Blake Stillwell, one of the newest members of the Bobcats. Blake, how we doing? How we feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thanks for joining us today. And you're a native Floridian, so yes, how you handling the cold?
As best as I can, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to get through it.
Yeah. Did anybody give you any tips on how to dress and get ready for the winter cold?
Wool socks, latex gloves, and sometimes I wear snow mitts.
Yes. Okay, that's perfect. Did somebody give that to you, or you kind of figured it out on your own?
My mom and then my teammates, they kind of helped me.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of know. And there's not too many Florida guys on the roster right now either.
No, sir.
Yeah, just you and Cleveland, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So starting to get used to it yet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As the days go by, you know, layering up. Trying to stay warm.
Yeah. Well, kind of nice we got the coldest snap, so that way it feels like 35 and 40 is like hot.
I was just talking to my mom about that the other day.
Yeah, getting used to it as it gets warmer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to get into your story and how you got here. Hopefully, we have enough time because it was a long one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's first start in high school for you.
Yes, sir.
You played a lot of basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
Was that your priority when you were in high school?
Yes, sir. I was mainly a basketball player coming up. I started playing football around 10th grade, and then after that, I just stuck with it.
Yeah. What made you stick with it? Why did you decide to go the football route rather than the basketball route post high school?
It was really coaches in my ear saying, like, if you commit fully to football, like, you can really go far with it. And I just listened to them, and I ended up here in a great situation, a great opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so didn't really start playing football until about 10th grade, got it going. And then when did COVID hit for you? When were you graduating high school?
I graduated in 2020, so COVID had hit in the tail end of my senior year. So I didn't go back to school for the second semester of my senior year.
Oh, yeah, that's tough, man.
Yes, sir.
Was that one of the drive-through graduations for you?
No, it was actually online, like on the video cam. We watched it from home.
Yeah, okay. So that's a little funky for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure that threw off the recruiting a little bit for you.
Most definitely did.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, what kind of things were you even able to do recruiting-wise that senior year for you?
Nothing. You couldn't go on any visits. You couldn't. And I remember really, like, most of the D1s had, like, shut down recruiting. Like, they weren't recruiting high school kids because of COVID, so I had decided to go to a prep school.
Right.
Yes,
okay. Yeah. So what was this prep school? Where did you go for the prep school?
It's called Milford Academy. It was out in New Berlin, New York.
Okay.
It's around Syracuse.
Yeah. So did you get a little dose of winter up there?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, it snows up there, right?
Yes, sir. It does.
Yeah, it's mountains up in that upper New York area.
Oh, most definitely.
So what was that experience like for you? What was the goal? I mean, was that just a situation where you're trying to kind of push the recruiting clock back a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how was it? Like, what was the situation? Just you going to class and like what was it like?
Like the overall situation, we would go to class every day and then play football in the evenings. And it was just like we would play against other prep schools around the area in like the Northeast region. And it was really just to maintain my eligibility, keep extra years, and just get film and more experience of playing the game. So that's all I really used it for.
Right. Okay. So you're able to do that. So that feel like it was a good situation
yes,
for you?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah. So then what was next? So you do that. You get some post-high school experience, but haven't started the college clock. What was next?
After that, I went to a junior college called Southern Shreveport, and that's when I had started my clock in the spring of 2021. In that COVID season, we played in the spring.
Okay. So you got a spring season in with that JUCO.
Yes, sir.
And then you were still there in the fall, is that right?
Yes.
Now, but you guys didn't finish your fall season.
No, we did not.
Okay, what happened?
It was really just janky, honestly. Like, I can't really speak too much on what happened. I was just told that we wasn't going to be able to finish playing. So everybody had to go home, and that's just what it was.
Oh, man, that is a gut punch.
No,
how did they tell you?
My coach just called us in for a team meeting one day and said, the season's over.
Wow.
Literally just like that.
Yeah, wow. So you've been through a lot at that point already. You
yes,
had the COVID graduation. You go to prep school. You're starting to feel like you got a home and you're trying to make your tape in JUCO, and then you get that. What was the next step? I mean, did anybody help place you somewhere? I mean, you how do you not feel lost in that moment?
No, you definitely do. Honestly, I have met great friends and brothers through the JUCO process at the school that I was at, and really they're the ones who helped coach me through and just help me make the best decisions for me. I didn't really have anybody in my ear telling me like what to do or how to do it, especially with JUCOs predominantly being in the Texas area. Where I'm from, there's not a lot of JUCOs, so it's not like it's a prominent choice for anybody to really choose anyway. So I was just going off the advice of close friends.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you end up finding? What was the next step after that?
After that, I went to Navarro College.
Okay.
Yes, sir, in Corsicana, Texas.
Okay. How was that experience?
It was good. It was really hot. I learned a lot of good football though.
Yeah.
Played hard. I played with a lot of great players, and it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Finally felt like you were part of the team, getting going. Felt a little normal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How were you guys that year?
We went 5-6. Lost in a game to go to the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you got some tape from there. What was the next step? So at this point, prep school, a year and a half at one JUCO, another JUCO. What was next for you after that?
Next step, I went to New Mexico Military College out of Roswell, New Mexico.
Okay, and that's another JUCO?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Another one.
How was that experience for you?
It was tough. I'm not gonna lie, being that far away from home, especially at a military school. It was a lot demanding athletically, schoolwork, and with they called it the Corps. So being in the Corps was a whole bunch of other responsibilities that you're responsible for. So it was just a lot trying to adjust to that.
Yeah, it's not for everybody to have that. Personally, I would not be able to handle that schedule. There's no chance.
Sorry.
Okay, so you get there, and it's not really quite what you want. So how long were you there?
I was only there for 1 semester.
Okay, and that leads you into getting here in the spring. Is
Yes,
that right?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so you finally get to Bozeman, but how did you get on the map for Montana State? What was your connection?
It was really through personal connections with like Coach Vigen, and then I had known our DC and our DB coach, Coach William Matt Garza, prior to him coming here. So it was just really just being around a lot in JUCO, just getting my name out there, and they already knew, and just keeping connection with them.
So you got to kind of do some networking when you're in the JUCO level.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah, nobody else is going to be a louder cheerleader for anybody except for yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and so what was your connection to Vigen then?
I had a cousin named Andre that played for Coach Viggs at North Dakota State on I think it was the 2010 and 2011 championship team, and so it just all worked out. He also played with our corners coach, Brian Shepard, so it just made everything copacetic. It just felt like home.
Yeah. Okay, what'd your brother or your cousin tell you about Viggs?
Oh, he's a great coach, stand-up guy, and it was a championship atmosphere coming to Bozeman because he know that they got it done at NDSU, and so he knew it was just going to be a great fit and just a great place to play.
Yeah, good. Those are some good brownie points with Coach sitting in the audience right now. And now Brian Shepard is there too. He's not quite your your coach, right?
No, sir.
Yeah, but still kind of cool to see him here, and now you get here. So, what's the experience been like? How has Montana State and Bozeman lived up to your expectations?
Yeah, it's great. It's really actually very beautiful. Being from Florida, I've never seen anything like this. Like, I've never seen a mountain. I've never seen like snow like this. So just taking everything in, it's just been a blessing.
Yeah, it's been good, man. I'm glad you're doing that. And how are your studies? I mean, I'm sure it's hard to get into a rhythm as a student with all the moving you've done.
Yeah, most definitely. My studies are going good. I'm still trying to decide on what I'm trying to get into long term, but I'm just keeping my options open and just passing every class they put in front of me.
Yeah. What are some of the things in the running you're thinking about wanting to do?
Probably somewhere along real estate.
Yeah. Okay, so once Miles finishes building up the apartment complex, you can be the one to sell it?
No, most definitely.
Okay, yeah, I like that, the Stillwell and Jackson connection. That'll work real well. All right, cool. And so how, for somebody who didn't get to play a lot of football in high school, had to go through all these hurdles and this adversity completely out of your control, how you feeling now as just a football player and getting to understand the X's and O's?
Honestly, I feel great, better than ever. I got a great group of guys who bring me along. A great group of coaches that hold you accountable and push you just to be the best that you can. So they push you. So it just works out hand in hand.
Yeah, that's great. Well, what were some of the things that you really needed to just get a handle on to feel like you were playing free?
I would say it was just learning a new playbook and coming in, and especially at a higher level, and especially with like a defense at this level is just a lot.
Yeah.
With the run fits, like Miles said, was a lot.
Yeah, a little more complicated.
Most definitely.
Okay, so what was that process like? I mean, is it just watching a lot of film? Like, how'd you learn it?
I would say it's more like actually getting reps than watching film. Because the more you rep it, the just easier it's going to be. Because when you're in the game, stuff's happening in a split decision. You got to make a decision quickly, and you don't have time to really be thinking. So the more you rep it, the easier it makes that.
Okay, starting to feel like you're playing like that now?
Most definitely.
Awesome. You excited for this weekend?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, back home in front of those fans. How special is it playing in front of a group and a crowd like this now?
That's crazy. This is the best fan base I've ever seen, ever been a part of. It feels electrifying when you run out there in that tunnel.
Yeah, this is what you were dreaming about when you're running around all those JUCO and doing every little thing you got to do?
Most definitely.
Yeah, the JUCO bandit's taken out now.
Yes, sir.
Well, Blake, it's been fun, man. Congrats on getting through everything you've had to get through. And this is your reward. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, Blake Stillwell. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get you ready for NAU coming up on Saturday. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Bridger Brewing is home to award-winning locally crafted beer and pizza and is proud to support all things Bobcat sports. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, last beer served at 8 p.m. and located right across from the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Stop by after the game today to enjoy a cold pint of beer and a slice of made-from-scratch delicious pizza. Dine-in service and online ordering for takeout are both available. Check out BridgerBrewing.com and at Bridger Brewing on Instagram and Facebook. And stay tuned for updates on our newest adventure in Three Forks, Montana.
Did you know that Southwest Montana has one of the highest per capita hot tub usage rates in the world? See what your friends and neighbors already know. How great it feels to soak under the big sky. Mountain Hot Tub has helped more friends and families relax in hot water than anyone in Montana. New hot tubs starting at less than $5,000. When you're ready to relieve stress and save money at the same time, come see us at the corner of Huffine and Gooch Hill. Mountain Hot Tub since 1979.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins Hallen believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Hallen, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
All right, we are back one final time at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined now by head coach Brent Vigen. We remind you to go check out the MSU Bookstore, the only not-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. And you can shop with us on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at the MSU Bookstore. All right, up next, it's time to look ahead to the next game presented by Vance Thompson Vision. And this next game is Northern Arizona. So it's a 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday over at Bobcat Stadium. And, all right, Coach, NAU is on the clock. Obviously, that game last year was one of the more memorable games. Taco Dollar making a catch on the scramble drill, walk-off field goal to win that one. How much are you drawing from that game last year to get you guys ready for this game this year?
Well, I think the first thing is just, I think our guys recognize that they had talent, and they fought hard against us last year. I think that type of game gets your eyes open immediately when you think back to just how crazy a game that was. We go up early, and it was 17-0, and then before we knew it, we were down 21-17 at halftime and back and forth. And, a lot of those guys making those plays, whether it's offense or defense, are back for them. You look at their schedule. They've beat 3 teams that are ranked. Well, they've played them, and you got to respect that, and at the same time, we got to be concerned about just our level of play and doing everything we can to put our best foot forward this Saturday.
A couple of the guys that are coming back are those wide receivers. They got a pair of wide receivers that over 2,000 career receiving yards. That is Owen Coleman and Hendricks Johnson. So they both had big games last year in that matchup. What do you guys have to do to be successful against that wide receiver core?
Well, keep them in front of us. That's what we didn't do in that game. They got behind us a couple times. One of them broke a screen for a long touchdown. They had a couple real deep balls. Like I said, they got behind us. So we got to keep in front of them, tackle them if they do, want to get the ball in the screen game. They are different at quarterback. Martinez was phenomenal in that game last year. They played 3 quarterbacks. They played 2 last week. So what comes of the quarterback play will be a big part of determining maybe what they're going to do, run, pass. But certainly those two receivers have our full attention.
Yeah, Angel Flores was a little more of their running quarterback. Adam DeMonte is a little bit more of their passing quarterback, but both of them are freshmen. So we'll see what we get from them. But, yeah, they've had to run through a lot of different quarterbacks. Quickly on this defensive side, Alex McLaughlin, one of the safeties, true freshman. He's on the Jerry Rice Award watch list. Now, he got hurt in that game against UC Davis, so don't know if he's playing, but he seems like he could be a major weapon for them out of the safety position.
Yeah, all over the place. Leads them in tackles, leads them in interceptions, and they've been big plays that he's been able to make in all types, and they're very impressive for a true freshman. I know he went down right before the half in that game, so we'll see if he's going to be out there. But they got plenty of active guys on that front. They got a big front on defense, and we got to be matched up there. And then, they present a challenge because they line up a lot of different ways, and they're pretty aggressive at times in the coverage game, and we got to be able to make plays against those type of tight coverage situations.
All right, well, looking forward to it. It's the first trip for NAU to Bozeman since 2019, so here we go.
Yeah. Excited about it.
No doubt. All right, well, that will wrap up this edition of Cat Chat. Thank you to Blake Stillwell and Miles Jackson joining us today. And we, of course, appreciate head coach Brent Vigen joining us. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. We will be on the air at noon for this game on Saturday. Should have some sunshine and should be nice enough.
Nice enough, absolutely, for November.
All right, we'll take that. Nice enough is what best we can get as we start November with NAU coming up on Saturday. For head coach Brent Vigen, I'm Keaton Gillogly saying so long, and you've been listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.